Hey guys, Future Gohan SSJ2 here. And yesterday I saw The Amazing Spider-Man. And might I say that this movie absolutely lives up to the name. Because this movie is amazing. It will really absolutely stun you because it is amazing. It's like the characters, the story. A lot of people are nitpicking at this movie when it's just a great movie. I'm gonna go over all that stuff, um, but I do prefer the Raimi films better.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, oh,
But no, actually, in my opinion, um, this absolutely surpasses the Raimi films in every conceivable way. Because okay, first off, um, anyone ever notice in the first film where like you're watching it and then you just felt like I felt like I missed a scene because he was Peter Parker 1 minute, dealing with these powers, and then like 10-second montage of saving people as Spider-Man, and now he's this well-known superhero that saves New York City, known as Spider-Man. There was no easing into the character, so boop, now he's Spider-Man. It's just like, well, but in this movie, you really get every aspect. You get Peter Parker, the nerd in school who gets bullied. You get Peter Parker who's trying to deal with his powers while still trying to be an everyday student. You've got, and then you've got Peter Parker trying to hunt down his dad's killer, and then you've got the gradual transformation into Spider-Man. And first off, as for Spider-Man and Peter Parker, Andrew Garfield um, does an Andrew. Okay, Andrew Garfield is Peter Parker. He's Peter Parker. He looks like Peter Parker. He acts like Peter Parker. He's Peter Parker. Um, you know, whether you prefer this Peter Parker or the Tobey Maguire Peter Parker is all up to personal preference. But he is Peter Parker from the comics. Um, he is. He's even got that the skateboard thing. Um, and no, he's not a professional skater like some people like. He just skates. Um, yeah, he's got the. It's just he's Peter Parker. He acts like it and everything. And then you've got Gwen Stacy, played by Emma Stone, who is fantastic. Again, I think she was the perfect casting choice for the role. Um, and you've got and speaking of them both, the relationship between Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy is just amazing. It isn't that like freaking oh my god relationship that took over 3 movies to happen, and even then it happened for about 10 minutes of the film, and then they ended up breaking up at the end of the third one, and then only to just have a dancing scene at the end of the film, and you don't even know what happened to them, if they even got back together or anything. Yeah. This one, no, it's just very, it doesn't just push you into it, but it's very gradual, um, because you can tell he has a crush on Gwen, but Gwen is also has a crush on Peter, um, and you believe it, and um, with the way they act together is amazing. It's really adorable, um, and his aunt and uncle, they're great. Um, the actors who play them are really they're really good, and I think I actually like them better than the other ones because um, I don't know. I actually don't know. I just for some reason I like them better. I don't know why. Uh, I kind of I liked both Uncle Ben's, and I liked both Aunt May's, but I think I just like the new one better. I don't know why, but there's just something about it. It kind of makes me like it better. And the whole killer, I kind of actually like that idea. I really, it's I don't know which one I like better, that one or the other one, but I actually do like this idea because it's more realistic. And the people who say that oh, the Amazing Spider-Man is just trying to capture the Dark Knight in terms of darkness and realism, no, that's not true at all. Trying to make a film realistic does not mean it's trying to copy another film and trying to make it realistic. That doesn't make any sense. Um, I don't know the actor's name, but Dr. Kirk Connors was great. Um, a lot of people said that you didn't get to see really any humanity in the character, but no, because you got to see the connection between Dr. Connors and Peter Parker. You could tell Dr. Connors found some interest in Peter because of his because of how smart he was, and you can tell that Peter Parker he actually really wants to get close to Dr. Connors because he knows Kirk Connors had a close relationship with his father, and he wants to find out more about that. And it's just a really good and when he turns into the lizard, it's almost like he's not even the same person because like all of his everything just gets boom, through the roof, and he doesn't act that way. Like he has a different thinking pattern and everything when he's normal. When he's lizard, he accelerates everything and almost is like a different person. At the I don't want to spoil anything, but at the end, you'll see that very clearly when they just transition from one to the other. You'll tell. The story, a lot of people think that it's, I really like the story because it's nothing we've seen in a Spider-Man film before. It's realistic. It's that's one of the things I really like about this film is that it's realistic. It could it's not like they tried to make this like a comic book film. They honestly tried, like, it didn't. I honestly forgot it was a comic book film. I knew it was a Spider-Man movie, but it was just so realistic. There was no corniness. And Spider-Man was hilarious, though. Spider-Man was freaking funny as all heck. And yeah, I liked the story because it was really realistic, dark, and really, I really liked it. A lot of people also complained about the lizard. Well, first off, he does look closer like he does in the comic. That's true because I actually own the comic. I bought the reproduction thing that they were selling at Walmart, but yeah, I actually do own the comic. And after seeing the movie, yeah, he does look almost exactly like he does in the comic. And other than that, he's not supposed to look like extremely scary. He still looks like himself. He's not supposed to look entirely different. He still looks like himself, but you can tell he's been changed into some reptile, some lizard. And it's also trying to identify you with the audience and everything like that. And I really liked it because like even when he's in the lizard form, you can still sense what had happened previously in the film with Dr. Connors and Peter Parker. What was another thing I liked in the film? I saw it in 3D. Believe it or not, this was actually the very first film I saw in 3D since Spy Kids 3, and that was freaking years ago. So yeah, this was the first film I saw in 3D in years, and I liked it, honestly. If you're seeing it in 2D, trust me, you're not missing much, because there's not really anything shooting out of the screen, rather. Maybe during some fight scenes or something. But just a lot, like during a lot of the talking and stuff like that. It still looks great because 3D makes the people pop because it kind of looks like they're not even in the. It really looks. You really just have to experience for yourself. And there was even one scene at the end, or one scene closer to the end, where Peter Parker's just standing there, and the 3D makes it pop out so much. For a second there, I really thought I was sitting there just like looking at him. Like that's how good the 3D was. It was really good in my opinion. I didn't see IMAX 3D, but I did see the Real D 3D. So just note that if that either one you go to, I'm sure it's really good. I don't know the difference, but I know there is one. Um, and what did this film do a lot greater than the Raimi films? It did Spider-Man better. It did Peter Parker better. It did the relationships better. It did the villains better. They're not like they didn't try to dumb it down, and they didn't try to make it seem as corny as the comic book. They just they just tried to make it realistic. But the old films they really tried to make it like a comic book, which it's based off of the comic book, but it's a film, it's a film first and a comic book second, and I think it really pulled it off. Yeah, and honestly, out of 10, I give this film a 10. I was glued to the seat every single second of the film. I almost forgot I even had popcorn sitting on my lap half the time. I was really just glued to the screen. I recommend if you're waiting to see it when it comes out. I recommend, just spending $8. You're bored one day, spend $8, go to 3D theater and watch it, or something like that. It's just a really good film. Yeah, and I thank you guys for watching. And of course, the Raimi films were better.
Oh.